Right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to talk about Francis Ngannou and Jon Jones. I think Jon Jones immediately needs to leave the UFC, team up with Francis Ngannou, and have a boxing match and make lots of money, more money than he can ever think of. Right now, Francis Ngannou is the hottest thing in combat sports. If he's talking about you, it's a good thing, regardless if that's negative or positive. And Jon Jones cannot see what's in front of his face here. Right now, he's wrapped up inside Dana White's nutsack, and he can't see what's really going on in front of his face. So hear me out. This is what I want to say here, right? So you have Jon Jones with his illustrious career and his very not tampered with, but what's the correct word? His very up and down career. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time in MMA and combat sports. He is the guy that could annihilate anybody else in the world. I wholeheartedly think that, right? He's fought in multiple divisions. He's the light heavyweight champion. He is the killer of killers. But he still needs Dana White to hold his hand, to wipe his bum, and to promote him, because Jon Jones doesn't have much of a personality. Neither does Francis Ngannou, but guess what? Francis Ngannou's more lovable, hence why people gravitate to him a lot more. A lot of people, they say the heel always wins. Well, sometimes, but when a heel tries to play good, like Jon Jones, nobody wants to tune in to see that. Jon Jones is out there running over pregnant ladies, sniffing the China White, and getting into serious bother with the police. But then the next day, after he gets out of the police station, he's making a video talking about God. We don't like that. We want a heel to play a heel, and we want a good guy to play a good guy. Francis is a good guy, and he always will be. He lives by the sword. He dies by the sword, but Jon doesn't. But here's what Jon Jones is not thinking about. Jon Jones does not need Dana White. Jon Jones needs to leave the UFC immediately and have one fight with Francis Ngannou. And what that will do is, regardless if he wins or loses, I think, as it stands, if it's in a boxing match, I think Ngannou probably takes him. My opinion. If it's an MMA fight, Jon Jones absolutely obliterates him. I think we are in agreement with that. But it's not about the fight. I'm talking about Jon Jones, how it's going to benefit him. What that will do is that will raise his stock, and he will be able to go anywhere. Dana White will scramble and start offering contracts for Francis Ngannou to come back to the UFC. And then if they want to, they can go back to the UFC, which they probably won't, because once Jon Jones gets that paycheck for fighting Francis Ngannou in whatever discipline they decide, he will say, why am I even with the UFC? I have made my name off the back of them, and I do not need the UFC anymore. And you're going to see, if any of these guys, these MMA guys, have any bollocks, there will be a mass exodus from all fighting promotions, because they can self-promote themselves, apart from the ones in Bellator that we don't know about. But anybody in the UFC that has any clout, the Sean O'Malley's, even the Kamaru Usmans, who just recently got beat there, all of these guys will be able to leave the UFC and fight boxers and make more money. This is the thing. And I don't know why Jon Jones isn't clicking onto this. Jon Jones his fighting IQ is phenomenal, but his life IQ is way below average. How does he not realize this? He got angry that Ariel Helwani was talking about him while he was speaking, or was it he was speaking about him, Jon Jones, to Francis Ngannou on that live stream. It doesn't matter if Francis Ngannou's coming out here saying that you are a pathetic piece of shit, you cannot fight, and I don't want anything to do with you. That is good for you, because now Francis Ngannou, the hottest thing in combat sports, is speaking about you. But this dimwit Jon Jones doesn't recognize that. He only recognizes what Daddy Dana says. Now, I respect Dana. He's the greatest promoter in our lifetime. 100%, the greatest promoter that's ever lived. This isn't a dig at Dana. If I was Dana, I would be doing the exact same thing, making these dimwits follow me, like the Pied Piper. But Jon Jones doesn't have a clue here. He needs to grow a set of balls. He needs to stand up, and he needs to say to himself, I can do what Francis Ngannou done. If he fought Tyson Fury and near beat Tyson Fury and went the distance with Tyson Fury, what can I do? I want to fight Francis Ngannou. Tyson Fury's wrapped up in a fight with Usyk. Ngannou hasn't even been touched here. There's not even a mark on his face. He's not injured. I can fight him while Fury's fighting Usyk. And then we're all in this mix of boxing and MMA and money. But no, something tells me he's going to take a contract with the UFC, get paid peanuts, and kiss the feet of Dana White because he wants to be a company man. Being a company man gets you nowhere in life. Having balls, taking risks gets you everywhere in life. Yeah, sometimes you're going to fail. Sometimes you're going to get nothing. But if you keep doing it enough, shit will stick. And right now, Ngannou risked everything, could have lost everything, and he's reaping the rewards of those risks. Jon Jones needs to do the exact same thing. If he doesn't, he's going to become a loser.